From the Rec Center on the St. Croix, it's a Section 4 showdown between the Totino-Grace Eagles and the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, and this one doubles as a top 5 Class A showdown here on Youth Hockey Hub, where every day is hockey day. The number 3 Mahtomedi Zephyrs at 13-2-1. They've got 5 Metro East victories on the season so far, and they are also a perfect 4-0 in Section 4A. Meanwhile, they'll welcome in the number 5 Totino-Grace Eagles at 12-5 overall. They play out of the Northwest Suburban Conference where they're 10-2, and it's just their second Section 4 game of the season. They are 1-0 so far in section play under first-year head coach Adam Sherritt, who was an assistant coach in this program last year, coached at the Bantam level. Some of these guys as well filtering back to him. But for the headlines in this one, Mahtomedi brings in the number 1 offense and the number 1 defense when you look at Section 4 teams. Totino-Grace, meanwhile, the number 2 defense and the number 3 offense. A matchup right now that, as things have been going of late, is pretty even-Steven. You look at the last 5 games, Totino-Grace is 4-1, averaging just a shade under 4.5 goals per contest, allowing just a shade under 2 goals per contest. Remember those numbers. Meanwhile, for Mahtomedi, they're 3-1-1 in their last 5 games. They also averaging just under 4.5 goals per game and allowing just under 2 goals per game. Doesn't get much more in alignment than that. It is off a victory for the Zephyrs. They've actually won back-to-back games since they tied at Hill Murray 2-2. Beat Hudson in overtime 2-1, and then shellacked North St. Paul 14-2 in their last game. Meanwhile, for the Totino-Grace Eagles, a loss to Champlain Park, one of their 2 conference losses in the Northwest Suburban, losing to the Rebels 4-1, but they are coming fresh off a couple of hard-fought victories, including a 1-goal game against Armstrong Cooper. That co-opted the Wings, and then a big-time 4-0 win over Coon Rapids that was on the heels of a pair of 7-goal games for the Eagles. Eagles in their gold, trimmed and lined in blue. They'll skate left to right and attack John Howe. More on him coming up. And, of course, the Zephyrs here at home, white uniforms, gold along the shoulders and all along the sleeves as they'll go right to left. And they'll try and solve, it will be Dardis, who is off to our left, for Totino-Grace. And it is Howe who's off to our right. Eagles skating backwards into their own zone in front of John Howe. He's been the goalie all season long. The senior 12-5 with a 2.4 goals against average, 93% on the save percentage. This puck flies untouched. Back for an icing, Ben Dardis in net for Mahtomedi. He's 8-1-1. He split time when you look at the stat page with the senior John Poirier. But of late, it's been Dardis. 4 shutouts in 10 games, and this is his 6th straight game in net. Settled and back in for the faceoff, coming just off to the left of John Howe. It's one end controlled by Totino-Grace, able to push it out of the zone. It's flicked up ahead by Dardis. Dardis with the stick, able to direct it down low for some teammates in behind the net. Now the Zephyrs come working it way to neutral ice, where it's tapped and intercepted by Nick Stika. 4 goals, 5 assists for the senior for the Eagles. Big check in behind the play as now Mahtomedi will move it down with Tom Paradise getting the shot in. Save made by Howe, and he finally covers up. But he had some stick work flashing in front of him there. So the Zephyrs kept the pressure on, courtesy of Colin Hagstrom, the junior. He's got 24 points on the season, 14 of those coming off goals. And Howe with his 93% save percentage stops a shot. Early shots on goal, 2-1 in favor of the homestanding Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Those averages on the balance of the season, 5 goals a game for the Zephyrs as they interplay here. Meanwhile, Totino-Grace averaging just 2.5, trying to get Hagstrom open, floating down towards the goal line. It's intercepted and cleared. Zephyrs defenseman back there to dump it back in the zone where Howe will play. Moves it back, rather deadened it right in behind his own net. Quick push up ice for Tom Paradise that time. And he got everything back into the play and got his team more possession. 15.5 minutes to go here in this first period. Another shot in on Howe. That one deflected away. Dylan Lallier was right there in front. Could not redirect. Puck out of the corner, still not cleared. Now is just tapped ahead, but 3 Zephyrs right there ready to pounce on it. Pushed back in the zone. It flies its way in past Stika. Stika trying to track it down under duress of a forecheck from the Zephyrs. Pushed out of the zone, back where it meets Connor Stoker, starting defenseman. Stoker plays it back into his own zone, then dumps it up ahead. Tipped off the stick of Corey Pilarski. Pilarski's offering down below the net for Wasik. Jake Wasik trying to work it back out, but the Zephyrs tough on the forecheck, and now the puck loose and free into the corner. Pilarski tracks it down. One quick touch. His Paradise is in there to help him out. Joe Paradise back to Pilarski. Tries to turn the sharp angle, and it's saved by Howe. Kept the pad ice level. Now on the break. Back the other way for Luke Delzer. Delzer on 2 defenders. Forced outside the circle. Nobody coming in. Now he does center the pass. Right back in front for Adam Johnson. Johnson working against 2 Zephyrs in the corner. Loses the puck initially. Held in for a moment by Delzer off the left foot. Delzer now in a fight. Can't win that battle, and it's cleared under control. Zephyrs coming up ice, 2-on-3. It's pushed ahead to Palmer. Palmer fires that shot, deflected once and twice off the Eagles, and back it comes for for Sam Thielen. Thielen trying to extricate it from the zone. He lost possession, and back it goes for the Eagles. Pushed up on this near side, it's Stephen Golden. Dumps it below the goal line. Wrapped around the boards and misplayed by Bonfie. Turned back over to the Zephyrs. Golden back after it again as he's back in his own zone, pushing back towards the blue line. Through neutral ice comes Totino-Grace, looking for their 13th victory of the season and just their second try at a Section 4 game in these top 2 teams in the section right now. Michael Miller comes flying out of the zone with it, leaves it on the boards near side. It's just poked ahead. A chase ensues. Wyatt Begley after it over there for the Zephyrs. He touches it back. Only Eagles home, but then quickly closed out on by the forecheck of the Zephyrs. Dump back down near the blue line. Backhanded feed down deeper into the zone for Tommy Broughton. Puck wraps all the way around the boards with 13:25 to go. Zephyrs stingy with it in the Totino-Grace zone. Able to hold it in for just a moment. It flies out. They get a change as they dump back in. Up to neutral ice where Ben Palmer helps the puck down into the far corner. Back and forth we've gone. A little more possession edging the way of Mahtomedi as they come cleanly through the zone again. Skillings working his way outside the circle, trying to keep the stick on it long enough to maybe find Paradise flying in. Instead, it's wrapped around the boards and all the way out of the zone. That'll force Tony Newbeck to track it down deep in his own zone. Forecheck coming from the Eagles. Pass mishandled there at neutral ice. Eagles touch up. Golden through the middle, and he bangs that one off the pads of Dardis. Dardis makes the save. It dumps down below his own goal line. Plenty of Zephyrs there to move it out of the zone. With some pace, they hit neutral ice, but the pass went in behind Hagstrom. Slowed everything down as it comes on the near side. Back for Golden. Golden, no goals, 2 assists his sophomore season after as a freshman. He put up 7 total points a year ago for Totino-Grace. Back towards the goal line where it's taken by J.D. Metz. He works backwards to try and create some space. Jack Gray up applying some pressure for the Eagles. That pressure results in a loose puck between the circles. Cleared out. Up off the boards, looking on the near side for Paradise for Mahtomedi. Instead, it's banged around at neutral ice a couple of times and dumps back into the Zephyrs' end. Picked up by Newbeck. Had some possession. Flips it along to Metz. He'll try and get it out of the zone under control. Instead, it runs into Paradise. Knocked it down for a moment. Back it goes for Metz. Metz inside the blue line. Fires that shot directly onto Howe. He steers it towards the corner. Late break there from Pilarski trying to get to the loose puck. Newbeck over to help him out as it's free out towards the blue line. Somebody lost a stick. It was Newbeck. Make that Lallier, who now has his lumber once again, and neutralizes. A glove goes flying too. Everybody having trouble hanging on to their equipment. Now the Zephyrs having trouble hanging on to the puck. Jack Gray flying ahead. He's got no help, trying to step inside a defender. Somehow hangs on to the puck. Thought he was interfered with, and eventually pocket picked by Noah Skillings. Skillings saves the break there for Mahtomedi. Turns it back the other way for Pilarski. Pilarski against 2 defenders, waiting for some help just past the blue line. Fires down towards the circle. Chance at a spin and fire for Paradise. Never able to pull the trigger. Back down the other way with 11 minutes to go, and finally a break as Dardis will clamp that left glove on it for the Zephyrs. As we pause with 11:05 to go here in this scoreless game. Dardis, 4 shutouts as mentioned. He's allowed just 5 total goals in the last 4 games for this Mahtomedi team that's trying to follow up on a 22-win season last year. Section 4 champs. That included a thrilling overtime victory against Northfield in the semifinals that Mahtomedi fans will well remember. Back to the circle it goes. Good extra passing in on Howe. He made the save with that left knee as the pass got a little tight towards the crease. Allowed him to intercept that and knock it away. Stops the run for the Zephyrs. Still not out of the zone as it's played down by Michael Miller. Miller kept it to the middle. Still a chance at possession for the Zephyrs. Eagles desperately trying to clear. The puck slides safely back to the blue line. That shot wide from Tommy Broughton. All the way up on the near side. Now poked loose and free from the zone. Delzer with a man on his left flying in. He'll take the shot and score. And Totino-Grace will lift the lid on this one with 10:20 to go in the first, courtesy of a break and a sniper shot from Luke Delzer, his 9th goal of the season. Had a man crashing. You look at that and maybe a chance that Delzer's just hoping to get a rebound flying back out towards that teammate on his left. And instead, he's able to beat Dardis to that left side for his 9th goal to go along with 10 assists. The sophomore pouring it on here midway through this 2018-2019 season. Back in front, Howe now right on the spot as he clamps down on it with both hands. With this 1-0 lead for Totino-Grace. So it's the number 3 offense in this section. Is able to strike first. This is the only regular season meeting between these two teams. Mahtomedi has won 2 straight in this series. That takes you all the way back to the 2016 section semis. For the last time the Eagles came out on top of the Zephyrs, that was a 6-5 final in the semis. Turned over, back in the zone. Little chip shot just goes wide. Totino-Grace trying to add to their lead early. They maintain possession. Sniping high to the slot goes Heffron, and Kyle Heffron has that one deflected off the shoulder of Dardis. But the Eagles keeping good pressure on here with 9.5 minutes to go in this first period. Fairly swift moving as we got to that 10-20 mark before we really had our first major stoppage, of course, for that goal. The Eagles trying to bounce back from that 4-1 loss to Champlin Park. They've got a couple of home games coming up in a row, the next 3, in fact. We'll keep them at home. Neutral ice face-off as that last puck got up into the netting. Now this one will fly up into the stands just off to our left. Glad you're with us here on Youth Hockey Hub. Great venue for this. The St. Croix Area Rec Center, home of the Stillwater Ponies in 2A. And then, of course, the Mahtomedi Zephyrs here in Class A. It's the Zephyrs who here at home, where they've actually lost more games than on the road. A couple of losses here on their home ice. And they find themselves trailing by a goal, being outshooting Totino-Grace 7-4. Puck pinned up in the corner off to our left. Extracted by the Eagles. Pushed up the ice on the near side. Patrick Finley, I believe, working his way out of the zone, or trying to, as Sam Thielen had that one just skip off his stick, headed towards the Zephyrs zone. And that puck free will bring us all the way back to neutral ice. 8:49 to go. Mentioned the rankings. Number 3, Mahtomedi. Number 5, Totino-Grace. Of course, Youth Hockey Hub, you're home for all sorts of rankings. Class 2A, Class A at the high school level. And all your youth as well. Below that, get those latest rankings put out yesterday. Have this as a top 5 matchup. Mahtomedi trying to bounce back in this game. Klingbeil had it poked away and taken away just as he broke the blue line. Zephyrs, though, make it a quick possession, not even for Totino-Grace before they take it away at neutral ice. Now the fight for the puck drops down at the feet of Jack Gray. Gray pushes quickly into the zone, lobs the puck up ahead for Bonfie. Bonfie never had possession as it's knocked away. Nearly turned over outside the circle, but the Zephyrs able to guide the puck out of the zone. 8:15 to go as the puck, this time with authority, slapped through neutral ice. That was tipped, so no icing. Zephyrs have to do it the hard way and bring it back up the ice. Totino-Grace plastering on the forecheck here. They were in and out of the zone, had to touch up. Now the puck loose up to the near side. Klingbeil again trying to maintain possession, had it poked away opportunistically by Golden. Free puck out in the corner, played by the Eagles up the boards, and then off that deflection, played out of the zone. Bonfie working his way ahead. 2-on-3 before everybody breaks into the zone. Bonfie's pass gets caught up in traffic and pulled away by Mahtomedi. Good work defensively in there by Tom Paradise that time, the senior. His feed through neutral ice, though, deflected right back with 7.5 minutes to go here in this first period. 1-0 lead for the Eagles. Trying to get just their second victory, rather their second victory in just their second game in Section 4 play. Long blast from the blue line for Wasik. He'll get it again, and this time a sliding stop. Seat of the pants for Paradise to send that puck free to the far side. Sacrificing the body, now Paradise has it. Turned over, tapped rather at neutral ice. Bounces right back, though, to Neubeck. Neubeck able to move it ahead, wrap it around the net. Watched carefully by Howe, who so far has stopped 7 shots in this game, all 7 that he's seen. Finley working to move it up the ice on the far side. Taken away by the Zephyrs in the midst of a change. Paradise sends it up ahead, down on the knees for Noah Skillings, keeps possession. Able to dump it back to a teammate, but then it's turned over in the middle of the ice. Pushed right back up. Nobody valuing the puck inside the blue line just yet. Our one goal coming on a breakaway. Neither one of these teams with too much zone time here. We move under 6.5 to play in the first period. Slight glimpses of that for Mahtomedi early. That's when they put up a lot of those 7 shots that are on the board against Howe. But it's been back and forth, tip the puck, turn the puck over hockey here over the last 3 minutes since that goal was scored. There's a chance for the Eagles, turned away, and Lallier nearly had a break in between the circles there, but someone hadn't touched up on the near side for the Zephyrs, so we'll come back out to neutral ice. Clock pauses with 6:08 to go. 2 of the last 3 for Mahtomedi have been as close as you'd want them to be, decided in overtime. That's the 2-2 tie against Hill Murray and the 2-1 win in overtime at Hudson. Right now in a 1-goal game, but looking for an equalizer to even put overtime on the table. A long way to go here. Under 6 to go in the first period. Deep shot through traffic, deflected down maybe into the seat of the pants of Pilarski that time off the feed from Joe Paradise. Trying to knife that puck through. Good little feed left behind for Meehan. He can't do much with it. Poked away off of his stick inside the circle. Taken away by the Zephyrs. Pushed up the ice by Lallier. Lallier dumps it down at the blue line. Gets it right back as he slides outside the circle. Forced down to the ice by Wasik. Wasik playing aggressive and physical. Under 5.5 to go here in this first period. Wasik coming out, Meehan, coming out of the zone with it. He'll skate backwards, try and spin his way around Skillings, who gives him a shove for the effort. Puck left right at the goal line for Stephen Hand. Hand sends it out to the circle. His offering deflected back down before it even got to Dardis. Zephyrs do clear the zone. It's dumped right back down by Totino-Grace. Skillings with plenty of space. He sends that one ahead. It's tipped by Michael Miller and all the way back to the goal line. And that icing will work it back with 5 minutes to go and put Dardis back on the spot. Dardis, we mentioned the 4 shutouts. The other goaltender, Poirier, he's got a pair of shutouts himself. 6 total as a team for the Zephyrs. But all that talk goes by the wayside. Less than 10 minutes into this one. Courtesy of the 9th goal of the season for Luke Delzer. He's going to tie his high school single-season career high right there. He had 9 a season ago as a freshman. To go along with 2 assists, a number he far left in the weeds. He's already got 10 assists this year. 17 games in. Eagles, I believe, held that in was the call, but then it hops out quickly. Miller able to work it up the ice, gets it right back. His backhand try once and twice, no good, wide. Still the puck is free, swept away by the Eagles into the circle, and then finally cleared back out. Knocked down as it moves towards the corner by Heffron. He's able to dump it up ahead for Bonfie. Bonfie between 4 defenders, just wraps it around the boards. Excellent chance on the other end, though, for Mike Miller. On the near side, it goes for Wasik. Wasik trying to get nifty with the feed, back above the goal line with Bonfie crashing. It was knocked away by Miller this time. Settled back in for the Zephyrs. Banged off the far side boards. Headed down the ice it goes, touched up by Wasik. He'll spin with under 4 minutes to go and fire it towards the blue line. Eagles can't get it in. Poked back out, bouncing puck. Tom Paradise after it. He'll try to center, and that pass is deflected and goes wide of the net. Back down below the goal line. Centering again. Puck like a pancake. Never hit the deck. Guys flapping it up and down, and finally hacked out of the zone there. And the Zephyrs never touched up. So we'll come back to neutral ice with 3.5 minutes to go here in this first. Speaking of overtimes and tight games, this matchup last year, the one time they met, that was a Mahtomedi win 4-3 in extra time. Totino-Grace controlled the faceoff. Pushed back by the Zephyrs momentarily. And they control back in their own end. Puck slides between the legs of a defenseman. Tapped on its way towards the boards on the near side. Held in by Paradise. Wrapped down below, and the Eagles can fly out of the zone with it. 3 minutes to go. The puck passed up just across the center line as Thielen takes it all the way to the circle. Holds it in the zone. Had a late man flying in. That's Stika. Stika dumps it down to the corner. See if the Eagles can set up some zone time here, which has been a rarity for both of these teams here in the first period. Lots of play up and down the ice as we've got 2:45 to go in this first period. Puck was on its way out of the zone. Now it's turned back over. Stika on the near side. He'll take a shot that's deflected down by the defenseman. Fired back, cross blue line pass. That one in traffic, tapped away and wide. Never made its way into Dardis. Mahtomedi on the loose puck, flying out of the zone. J.D. Metz walled off the puck. He just dumps it and heads for the bench. They'll get a change with 2:20 to go here in this first period. 1-0 lead for Totino-Grace. A lot of skating over there for Joe Paradise. Paradise eventually loses the puck after it again, but it slides out of the zone. He keeps up his pursuit of the puck at neutral ice. Knocks it down once and twice. Bangs back into the Mahtomedi end, and the defense able to push it back up the ice. Big hit on the near side. Pilarski paid for that. Able to redirect the puck down towards Paradise. He's walled off by two Eagles as we go under 2 minutes to go. Here in a 1-0 lead for Totino-Grace. Puck slides to Skillings. Skillings back into the middle. A float out of the zone there for Lallier, out of the slot rather. Lallier back up to Skillings. His one-timer, a little bit of a miss hit. Howe had those pads going wide and able to knock it down, and eventually the puck comes to a rest under somebody there outside the crease. And a broken stick, too. That very well could have been Skillings, the way that puck came off the blade of his stick. Minute 40 to go here in this first period. It was Skillings who had to go to the bench to get the new piece of lumber. He's back into the play, the face-off to the stick side of Howe. Pushed down into the corner by the Eagles, but then played right back out of the zone by Wasik. Held right there at the blue line. Palmer backing his way into the zone with it. He'll dump it back down. That shot sailing high. Might have been deflected out front just off to that far side. Zephyrs, chance to pull it out of the zone. Opportunistic stick that time from Palmer. Touches it back down into the corner. Tracked down by Broughton. Broughton pinned off the puck, but Skillings is there to move it up the near side and clear it from the zone. Dumped right back in for Totino-Grace as we've got 1:05 remaining in this first period of action. Never out of the zone cleanly. Eagles forecheck all over it, fighting for the last chance. To the near side it goes. Centering pass, deflected away. Right back to the shooter it goes, and Heffron fires the second chance right into Dardis, who makes the save. I'm not exactly sure who Kyle Heffron was trying to feed that to, or if it was just a soft shot maybe to try and beat Dardis, but either way it worked out where it popped right back to him. And he was able to send that one with some pace in on Dardis. Heffron, the top assist maker on this team. He's had multiple points for the Eagles in 3 of their last 5 games. 7 total points in those 5 games. He nearly made this a 2-0 Totino-Grace lead. 50 seconds to go. Glove side face-off. Eagles nearly lost it. Got it back. Held on to it. Wasik, opportunistic, right to the blue line there as that puck goes sailing out. And that'll pull us out of the zone with 42 seconds to go here in this first period. We did get a penalty on that Heffron play. So 8 seconds in off that draw. Apologies, didn't see the skater head off there. Penalty box is on this near side below us. So the short-handed draw controlled and pushed down the ice for Mahtomedi. This one's going to take us into the second period, so the Eagles don't have to fuss too much. Cole McCarver, the senior, the man in the box. The Eagles stay on side, push it down into the zone. 32% on the power play. Puck free outside the circle, dumped back off the boards. Delzers, your goal scorer in this game. Shovels it back to Stika. He fakes the hard blast from straight away. Centering pass slides across the crease. Thielen was right there. Puck wide to the near side. Delzer fires that one in, and Delzer's stick was winding off, and so was the clock. So we've had 2 different broken sticks, 1 on each side here in the first period. We'll have power play time with 1:10 remaining on the power play for the Eagles when we come back in the second. Quick break. Eagles a 1-0 lead after 1 as you're watching this Section 4 showdown between number 3 Mahtomedi and number 5 Totino-Grace right here on Youth Hockey Hub. back at the St. Croix Valley Rec Center. Here as the Mahtomedi Zephyrs trail it at home 1-0 to these Totino-Grace Eagles, who got a goal with 10:20 to go in that first, the 9th of the season from Luke Delzer, the sophomore. And so we start the second period. In that first, it was 9-7 shots on goal in favor of Mahtomedi, but John Howe strong in net for Totino-Grace, able to go 9 of 9 on saves. As we switch ins in Totino-Grace in their gold and blue, the white on the uniforms for Mahtomedi, they'll attack left to right. Howe with 12 wins on the season. He's been the only goalie for this Totino-Grace team. That time a good 1 and 2, but the third pass in there slides well wide. Turns into a break the other way for Totino-Grace. Heffron sliding in, and he'll shoot and knock it home. A golden opportunity on one end for the Zephyrs to tie the game. Turns into a break on the back end. And it's Totino-Grace who will open up a 2-0 lead. Just seconds into this second period. Darby Jones and Kyle Heffron working it down the ice. This Mahtomedi team that averages 5 goals per game, down 2-0. Here come the Eagles flying out of the zone again. Pushed up the near side, and an offsides whistle to bring us back out. So a 2-0 lead for Totino-Grace. Eagles trying to play it up on that far side with Finley, and it's pushed down below the blue line. Tapped right back by Tommy Broughton from Mahtomedi, trying to clear it out of their zone. Wipes off the power play on what looked more like a shorthanded opportunity before the Eagles even set up in the zone. They started this period with 1:10 of power play time, so it will go down as the power play goal. But again, not coming off the set offense in the zone there. Just on the 2-on-1 break. Darby Jones scores for the second time this season as that one is sticked away on the near side by Howe. Mahtomedi trying to hang on at 5-on-5 hockey. That puck dies right there at the circle. Sent right back towards the middle. Chance for Pilarski, and it's just shoved wide. Got to get one to get back into it. Another backhanded feed towards Pilarski that time. Knocked away by the Eagles. Another centering pass, and Skillings has it hot past his stick. Up off the boards. Chance at a break for Delzer. He just overskates it. Lost clean possession at neutral ice. Knocked around and held in by the Zephyrs. Paradise flying in, and there'll be a penalty coming up. Paradise trying to turn the corner, and he dumps it home. No, the net came off kilter before he was able to turn the corner and dump that one home, but they'll get the benefit of a penalty coming up. So the Zephyrs nearly got that one goal they wanted. Instead, they'll get the penalty and a 5-on-4 advantage. Zephyrs pleading their case. And the case will be taken up by Jeff Poschel, a 22-year head coach, 7 times to the state tournament for the Zephyrs. Trying to get an explanation as to why, as that net came off on the near side and his guy skated around to try and hook it in, why that was disallowed. It'll stay that way, but Now a 5-on-4 for the Zephyrs. 12 of 47 on the power play for Mahtomedi this season. They'll win the draw and hang out here in the zone with the advantage. Cross check is the call. Loose puck fired in front. Howe made one stop, and then eventually the net comes off its moorings again as there's a big time pileup. 3 Eagles and just 1 Zephyr down there at the crease on this near side. He peeled away, and as they peel it away, it's going to be another penalty on the Eagles. So now 5-on-3. Second penalty on Jack Gray. So we got another minute 45 of 5-on-3 in this 2-0 lead for Totino-Grace, but penalties trying to do everything to get Mahtomedi right back into it. Cleared out. Pushed back down the ice by Caleb Meehan. They scored less than 50 seconds into the period to make it 2-0. Now consecutive penalties have it 5-on-3 in favor of the Zephyrs. Pinching in ever closer, down to the goal line. Man floating around the middle is Pilarski. Knocked away off the stick of a Zephyr into the corner. Peeled out by Totino-Grace. They nearly overskated it as it drops to Skillings. Skillings to the near side, make it the far side and a swing for Paradise. That one's knocked down and slapped out of the zone. Paradise able to settle it, but not before it crosses the blue line. Brought back in by Pilarski. He'll shovel it over to the far side with Paradise. He's got Skillings off to his left. Paradise floats his way in. That one deflected away by Wasik. Paradise back with it to Skillings. Near side circle, floats it across. That pass intercepted, a diving attempt to clear. Only able to push it up towards the top of the zone. Back to Skillings, he'll get it back in. Far side, shot and a score. There's one for the Zephyrs. No, they're going to disallow it. And instead of one going in for the Zephyrs, it's another near miss for Mahtomedi, who nearly had a goal before the first penalty even started. And now Nikolai Dulak going to be whistled for the infraction here. And that will get us back to 5-on-4. Nice, check that. 4-on-3. We'll just pop back to this other end. 3 skaters for Totino-Grace for another 35 seconds before they get one man out of the bin. And it's 4-on-3. So we were nearly penalty free in this game until the very end of the first period. And since then, a power play goal and 3 penalties, 2 on the Eagles. But they're trying to dodge a big bullet here as a penalty on the Zephyrs brings it back to 4-on-3. Just the 1 skater advantage up the near side for Broughton. Leaves it back behind for Lallier. He settles at the circle. Tight quarters to Paradise. Paradise pushes across the far side. Couple of touch passes back towards him. One-timer blocked away by Howe. Howe redirects off the pads, going to the far side. 10 left in this 4-on-3. Mahtomedi trying to make it work as they're down 2-0. Tapped out and out of the zone. Up and out of the zone by Totino-Grace. 1 out of the box. A second one to follow in just 10 seconds. It's 4-on-4 hockey. This one's slapped down into the corner. Eagles about to go back to full strength and avoid a 5-on-3 disaster. Looked like there was a goal for the Zephyrs. It was waved off on the penalty. And now, just like that, Totino-Grace is back to full strength and with a man advantage. Wipe away all the penalty opportunities for the Zephyrs as that long shot from outside the slot bangs off the boards. Now a minute of 5-on-4 time is settled down by Dardis, who makes the glove save. Serving out the rest of the Dulac penalty now. Still 12 minutes to go here in the second. It's a 5-2 shots on goal advantage here in the period, courtesy of those power plays for the Zephyrs, but they still find themselves down 2-0. A long offering knocked down by Howe. He settles it. 5-on-4 hockey for Totino-Grace. Just over 30% on the power play this year. Meanwhile, Mahtomedi killing off penalties at an 84% clip. Up the near side for Stika. Stika down into the corner, leaves the puck behind. Zephyrs able to go with some control and push it out to the blue line. Under 30 seconds we go in the 5-on-4 advantage for Totino-Grace, excuse me. No huge hurry for the Eagles. Though a third goal here with these high-scoring Zephyrs. Nothing to be sneezed at. Back into the middle, bouncing puck nearly right down to the feet of Bonfi. It eventually drags too far to the goal line and opening up the box doors as back to full strength go the Zephyrs. And right out of it, they'll go flying down the ice with Neubeck. Neubeck, outside it goes to Paradise. He takes the shot and it's swallowed up by Howe. He'll make his 15th save of the night. 93% on the season. 3 shutouts in his 17 games played. 11 times Howe has allowed less than 3 goals. Will bode pretty well right now for Totino-Grace. They have seen their margins of victory and really just the games decided by a wider margin as the season has gone on. Forced out of the zone by a sliding Stephen Golden. Puck keeps making its way down the ice before the Zephyrs use a clear to get some space. Use a check rather to get some space. Noah Skillings by himself feeds it up the ice. Intercepted right there at center ice. Knocked around by Finley. Down off the bench. Neutralized face-off with 10.5 remaining here in this second period. The first 2 wins of the season for Totino-Grace after they lost their first 2 games to Maple Grove and East Grand Forks. Their first 2 wins came in overtime. Since then, 8 of their next 10 wins have been by 3 goals or more. You would not expect it in this top 5 showdown here tonight to have that wide of a margin. But right now, it's Totino-Grace trying to add on to a 2-0 lead, and Mahtomedi with 2 near misses. Sandwiched around a 5-on-3 opportunity. A penalty waves off the potential 5-on-3 goal. And they're left still with the goose egg up on the scoreboard with 10-12 remaining here in this second period. Key Section 4 head-to-head game when you start looking at seeding in the sections. Totino-Grace will have fewer games than everybody else when all is said and done. This is just their second sectional game so far. Flying in, long shot. Dardis might have gotten a piece of that. It was sailing wide anyway. Tracked down by Jack Gray on the far side. His centering pass is deflected away and out of the zone by the Zephyrs. Gray back after it, sends it down past Skillings. He'll chase it down with Tommy Broughton. Broughton back to Skillings, the captain, working it from inside the circle. Doesn't clear, big check, turns it back over. Meehan in the corner, trying to clear some space and work there with Jack Gray. Puck pinned up against the boards with 9.5 to go here in this second period. Peeled off by Gray. He's checked off the puck in the corner. Worked back up this near side for Begley. Begley tries to clear. That one headed for the rafters. Pops back down without hitting any metal. Knocked through neutral ice and tracked down by Golden. Golden working backwards. Then he'll backhand it up ahead. Fortuitous bounce there right to the stick of Meehan. Meehan outside the circle. He'll center. Shoved just wide on the break. Meehan tries to rip it around the near side post and can't do it. Held in the zone. Flipped along the blue line. Long shot sails wide. Some banging out towards the near side as Meehan can't hang on to it. Zephyrs move it up ice. That one targeted for Paradise, but too many defenders in the way. They intercept. Paradise on the forecheck. It's whipped around to Wasik. Wasik's offering to center ice. In control of Hagstrom. He's poked off the puck momentarily, but able to get it up ahead. Skillings had it. He shot it wide. Eagles clear it back out to the blue line, no further. Long shot coming in through traffic. That's wide of the net. Tracked down by Hagstrom. Hagstrom in the corner. Sent down to the ice. No hands in the air. That'll be a play on as Totino-Grace gets the fans booing here at the St. Croix Rec Center. And now late activity as the puck gets settled into Howe. And extra bodies hitting the ice with 8:20 to go here in this second period. Officials have to peel off basically 11 skaters down there when you throw in Howe at the bottom of the pile. And now the talking continues. It'll be coincidentals. So Mahtomedi and Totino-Grace send players into the box. They continue yapping at one another. What it looks like, early indications, will stay at 5-on-5 hockey. Officials are talking right down in front of the scorer's box. Glad you're with us here on Youth Hockey Hub. 2-0 Totino-Grace, a goal in the first. Luke Delzer's ninth. Goal in the second. Bonfie's seventh. Bonfie third on the team in points. So we stay at 5-on-5 hockey. 2-0 lead for the Eagles. This one under 8.5 minutes to go here in the second period. Misplay back in their own zone. Gives renewed life to the forecheck for the Zephyrs. Puck still hops out, free to the stick of Delzer. Delzer goes wide, drags inside, and he's forced wide by Connor Stoker. Stoker gave up the body there to force Delzer out. Loose puck up to Pilarski. Pilarski, same thing Delzer just did. This time he's got help. Shot and a score, and Joe Paradise will get the Zephyrs back within one. Beautiful feed from Pilarski on the break. And it's Paradise, after two near misses, who finally gets the Zephyrs on the board with 7:47 to go here in this second period. A long-awaited first goal for this #1 scoring team in the section. Paradise has his 8th of the year. He's got 22 points now. Held in at the blue line. That one redirected in front right at the crease as Hagstrom camped out there, nearly got that one to deflect in. Officials sorting everything out as we'll get the face-off to the stick side of Howe. Gives up his first goal in 18 shots. That was slapped out quick, so they'll redo with Miller. Digging in on the dot with Caleb Meehan. Meehan sweeps it to the far side, but it's controlled by the Zephyrs. Pushed back to the far side circle, sticked away by Howe. Out of the corner it pops. Zephyrs with Meehan able to push it back down. Make that Miller, push back down towards the corner. Peeled off the boards, fire to the blue line it goes. Eagles with Stephen Hand working up ice. Hand pushed all the way into the corner. Puck loose and free. Midway up the boards near side. Tapped out of the zone under control. Newbeck past the blue line. To the middle. Miller can't get the shot to go, and then the puck dangerously slides across the crease left to right. Eagles dodge a bullet in this 2-1 game, under 7 minutes to play in the second. Puck springs on this near side. Golden able to push it back down. It's intercepted at the blue line. Taken back by Broughton. Skates around a defender. Broughton with some speed into the Totino-Grace zone. Down below the goal line. No recenter pass yet. He works it all the way around the boards, looking for help. Gets it from Hagstrom, but Hagstrom has that hop up over his stick. Back the other way it comes. Kicked off the deflection. Right back down to Heffron. He drags it in tight. Fires it across the ice, nobody home. Eagles have to touch up, get back outside the zone and dump it back down in. 6:10 to go. Puck flies to neutral ice. Two players already engaged there. It bounces back to Skillings. Skillings towards the blue line. Whip back with the backhand for Totino-Grace. Under 6 minutes we go. That'll be an icing. 19-10 shots on goal in favor of the Zephyrs. 10-3 here in the period. They're hunting their 14th victory of the season. Their only 2 losses of the year. To Hill Murray, number 10 in Class 2A, and to St. Thomas Academy, number 7 in Class 2A. It was a 1-goal game against Hill Murray, and they also tied the Pioneers. That in their last game. Long shot through traffic. Paradise was looking for another. Knocked away. Puck still free below the goal line. Lots of traffic. Eagles sticks in beside Paradise. He whirls around trying to hang on to possession. Up the near side boards it goes. Bounced back out to neutral ice. Knocked down at the feet of Lallier. Lallier able to dump it in the zone. Takes down an Eagle for his trouble at neutral ice. As we slide towards 5:20 remaining. Zephyrs get possession right back from outside the circle. Chance on the back door for Lallier, and it's swept away. He never was able to get the stick on it with the traffic created in front by the Eagles. Paradise takes it away, and at center ice looked like he was tripped. And we will have that trip called as Paradise a little slow to get up. And originally down 2-0 just seconds into this period. The man who got him back within a goal, Joe Paradise, the senior's tripped up. And now a power play opportunity again for the Zephyrs, 0 for 2 on the night thus far. Sam Thielen caught for the trip. Zephyrs with the advantage. Pinching in on the power play. Lobbed back out in front. McCarver fires it near side and just deflected away. Zephyrs maintain possession. McCarver and Paradise outside the circles. That one's knocked down early by Jack Gray, and Gray is able to bounce the puck out of the zone. After it for a potential shorthand, won't develop. Puck slides below the goal line. Begley will track it down and settle down with 1:20 to go here in the power play. Straight up the gut, dumped out behind. Pilarski assisted on their lone goal of the night so far. Back it goes to Paradise, playing at the blue line with a little catch. Skates out high, fires that one through traffic. Howe pad saves it away to the right. Free puck taken away by the Eagles. Up the ice, they'll turn it into a 2-on-1 break. Shot high and goes off the shoulder of Dardis, up out of play with 50 seconds to go in the power play. 3:54 remaining here in the period. Short-handed. The face-off in the Mahtomedi zone. Three short-handed goals on the season for Totino-Grace. A fourth would give them back a 2-goal lead that they held at 2-0 early here in this second period. Now we're under 4 minutes to go in the period. 30 seconds left on a Mahtomedi power play. Paradise, the goal scorer, back in there. That's Joe, not to be confused with Tom. That one flies wide on the far side. Will wrap around the boards. Up to Skillings. Skillings feeds that one inside. Little backhanded attempt from Hagstrom. Goes awry, back out to Paradise. Outside the circle. Fires down near circle. Tape-to-tape passing in the middle for Hagstrom. He can't settle it down towards the net. Back out towards Skillings. He'll feed it down low and wide. 5 seconds to go in the power play. Paradise outside the circle, back to Skillings. Skillings given all kinds of space, so he'll creep in. Fires the shot, deflected away once and twice by Howe. Paradise tracks it down as the Eagles try and bring on their fifth skater. Power play done, 0 for 3 on the night for Coach Poschel's squad. As they still find themselves down a goal with 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the second period. Skillings again feeds towards Hagstrom. That one's deflected away. All kinds of lumber down on the ice in that far corner, not making stuff easy. Eagles trying to use that to their advantage. They're able to hop it up and over those broken and fallen sticks and get it out of the zone. Push right back in by Pilarski. Tracked down for the Eagles by Bonfi. Bonfi wraps it up the boards on the near side, looking for Heffron. Heffron inside the blue line, centering, looking for someone to get it to. Never does. Make the pass instead. Out towards the blue line and a high sailing shot. Glove down by Dardis. Whole lot on that from Jake Wasik with 2:17 remaining. Eagles with a 2-1 lead, getting outshot 22-12. They, on average, are outshot by 2 shots on goal per game by their opponent. 33 shots on goal on average taken by the Eagles, 35 allowed. So the trend expanding for Totino-Grace, but they've got the lead. Also goes to show you they've won a lot of games where they've been outshot. Sitting at 12-5, still with that negative margin for shots on goal. Under 2 minutes remaining here in the second period. Mahtomedi, can they come all the way back and set us up to restart this one in the third? Zephyrs trying to pull it down and keep it in the zone. Can't do it. Tapped away on this near side. Worked up the ice by Palmer. Palmer floating to the outside. Tries to tuck that one in. Short angle, and it's saved by Dardis. Whole lot of speed flying in there for Ben Palmer. Top goal scorer on this team. He scored a goal in 13 of 17 games this year for the Eagles. Plus 10 goals from what he did in his junior year, part of a 9-win season for the Eagles. They have not won a section title since 2014. Last year they edged Sibley in the first round, 1-0 in overtime. Would lose to South St. Paul the next round 6-0. To keep that dry spell for section titles alive. But here, first-year head coach Adam Sherritt, he's got his boys in position for a big regular season section win and maybe, just maybe, a shot at that title coming up later in the year. Zephyr's still very dangerous. A lot of time left. Turned over for Paradise. He takes the shot and it's towed away by Howe. Got the foot out there, not out of the frying pan yet. Paradise still hacking at it. He's got some help from Pilarski, and finally Howe will cover up. Minute 13 to go. Inopportune turnover for the Eagles. Nearly turned into the second goal of the night for Joe Paradise. But a toe tap save for John Howe, who's now stopped 24 of 25 here in the game. Official over to talk to both benches. No penalties here. 5-on-5 hockey with a minute 13 to go in the second. 2-1 lead for the Eagles of Totino-Grace. That one got caught up in the hand of Skillings right along the boards, and it actually deflected out of play on him. He was just trying to hold it in at the blue line. Very nearly didn't hold it in. And actually didn't hold it into play at all. Minute and 2 seconds remaining here in the second period. Puck slapped back down the ice. Zephyr's trying to work it up quickly. Hunting that game-tying goal. Flies into Dulac. Dulac between 2 defenders. Pad saved by Howe. And Dulac, a quick trigger on that. Now through neutral ice. Here comes Heffron. Heffron had it poked off his stick, turned back to Paradise. Tom Paradise flying down. He's got Hagstrom. Back to Paradise, a little too strong. Tracks it down with 35 seconds to go in the period. Falls down at Paradise's feet. He sends it towards the net, and Hagstrom deflects it wide. All the way out of the zone, helped there by the Eagles. Pushed back down by Skillings. Skillings working in tight quarters on the near side. Forced off the puck by Palmer. Palmer sends it up the ice. Long chase up ahead for Delzer. Delzer settles it down at the circle. Feeds it to the middle. Shot and a save. Deflected back down in front. Don't know it actually got to Dardis. Deflected high up in the air off of Wasik's stick. The defense working. 4 seconds left. It'll be held up by Mahtomedi, and we'll go to the third just like we went to the second in a 1-goal game. This time, though, it's 2-1 in favor of the Eagles. They're on the road with a lead after 2 as you're watching this Section 4 showdown between number 5 Totino-Grace and number 3 Mahtomedi here on Youth Hockey Hub. One final period. Center. Home of the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, who were down 2-0 in this game early on in the second period. Goals for Totino-Grace in the first by Luke Delzer, early in the second by Jack Bonfey, his 7th. And the last goal of this game scored by Joe Paradise to cut the lead back down to 1. Right to left here in the third period for the Zephyrs as they'll try to find their way to an early goal on the draw. Jack Bonfey able to push it back into the Mahtomedi zone. Loose puck turned over right between the circles. Bonfey knifes the pass over. Quick shot and a score. Returning the favor to Kyle Heffron. Heffron had the assist on the Bonfey goal. That was seconds into the second, and now 12 seconds into the third. It's a 2-goal lead again for the Eagles. Bonfey to Heffron, and Heffron's 13th of the season. The top goal scorer now has scored in 5 of the last 6 games. Bonfey picks up his 17th assist. He's had multiple assists now in 5 of the first 17 games. Eagles were offsides. Second whistle forced to come out there as both teams kept after the puck doggedly. So it's 3-1. The Eagles have assured themselves at least a goal in every period already, and they've scored in the first minute of both the second and third, and both times it's given them a 2-goal lead. Fans barely settled back in here in Stillwater. Glad you're with us on Youth Hockey Hub. Cold day across the metro and much of Minnesota. We've got this showdown in Section 4 Class A. 2 top 5 teams in our Youth Hockey Hub staff rankings that came out today. And it's number 5, Totino-Grace, that's trying to pull the mild upset over number 3, Mahtomedi. And as was noted by the experts at Youth Hockey Hub, and we've danced around a little bit, the winner of this one, if not the actual number 1 seed in this section, has the inside track on it. A lot of stuff can still happen. But the head-to-head for the top 2 teams in Section 4, whoever ends up with that victory, could very well put themselves in position to be the number 1 seed in that Section 4 tournament. And as we told you last period, the Eagles have not won a section title since 2014. Meanwhile, Mahtomedi back-to-back Section 4 champs. Last year, a round 1 victory in the Class A state tournament before a tough loss in overtime to Orono brought their season to an end. In the winner's bracket side, they'd play one more game and lose to Hermantown in the third-place game. Here, down 2 goals. Free with the puck back in their own end. Nearly had a second clean turnover. That's what led to that 3rd goal for the Eagles. This time, Totino-Grace will have to work it back in on their own. Quick skate amongst the traffic, and it's flipped back down deeper into the zone by Delzer. He got all of this started with a goal back in the first. Zephyrs are out shooting Totino-Grace 27-15. They outshot them 17-7 in that second period alone. Goals were even at 1 apiece. Quick skate in. Paradise really left the puck back on his heel. And that allowed the Eagles to take it away from him. Bouncing puck all the way back for an icing. 2 minutes gone here in this third. Little homestand coming up here for Mahtomedi. They'll take on Simley. Then it will be the battle for the St. Croix Valley Rec Center, as they'll take on Stillwater. It's listed as a home game for Mahtomedi. Imagine they flop that back and forth year to year. It's a quick shot right off the draws, gloved by Howe, who has stopped 27 of 28 shots now. Won't do anything to tarnish his 93% save percentage on the year. Goals against average 2.4. We gave you those numbers for Howe. 11 times in the first 17 games he's allowed less than 3 goals. much better than half. So when the when the Eagles can get to that 3-goal mark, and they've got John Howe in net as they have for all of the 17 prior, they've been tough to beat. Well, we will have a penalty coming up. It's on the Zephyrs, though. Not going to help their cause here. Remember, we had a flurry of penalties to start the second. This one here on Dylan Lallier. We ended up with the Zephyrs 5-on-3 advantage. That lasted mere seconds before it became 5-on-4, and then eventually, before it became 4-on-3, and then eventually wound up with a 5-on-4 advantage to the Eagles. Skated into the zone with the 5-on-4 man advantage. Quick shot from the point by Stika is covered up by Dardis. Faceoff will come to his glove side with 4:23 to go. Minute 35 remaining here in the power play. On average, the Zephyrs do outshoot their opponents in a big way this season. On average, 20 more shots on goal than their opponents, averaging 38 per contest, holding their opponents down to 18. That one slides all the way back to Howe. Right now with their 3-1 lead, Totino-Grace doing it on 16 shots on goal. 14 minutes to go in the game. 2-goal lead and a man advantage for another minute 15 for the Eagles. Into the corner for Bonfim. He slows the puck down against the boards as he's pinned there by Begley. Begley helping to waste some time away on this penalty kill. Mahtomedi 84% on the kill so far this season. They fly that puck all the way out of the zone. Down the ice it goes, and it'll be played back behind the net for the Eagles. Stika will try to reset, working out of the zone with Heffron. Check that. It was Palmer who flies it back ahead. Dumped down. Moved past Heffron this time. Off net, but Howe's still going to play it. Settles it down under some duress. On a quick short-handed forecheck up there for Mahtomedi. Hagstrom skating way out in front. Quickly comes back down the other way for Bonfim. Bonfim right now sitting with the game-winning goal. Centers that pass, deflects off a number of sticks, held in right at the blue line. Shoveled back down by Stika. Down, centered, shot, pad save away by Dardis. Wasik able to send it in on the pads and the netminder. That shot from outside the blue line. Gloved and dropped there quickly by Dardis. And that will eliminate the penalty. Managed 3 shots on goal, did the Eagles. Still with the 2-goal lead. Now it's 3 for the first time on the second of the period from Kyle Heffron. Just walks his way inside the blue line and like a walk in the park fires the top shelf over the left shoulder of Dardis. Heffron with 2 goals and an assist. And for the first time in this game, a 3-goal lead, and it belongs to the Eagles. Mahtomedi is going to take a timeout. That it was in the balance anyway, in a 1-goal game coming in, and then a quick goal from Heffron to start the third. Was his 13th of the year. He doesn't sit on that lucky number very long. Picks up goal number 14 just over 4 minutes later. So it has been the Heffron and Bonfim show. That first line centered by Bonfim the senior, Heffron on the wing. Delzer, he's on that starting line too, and he had the first goal of the game. So they have dominated here on the Zephyrs, doing what they need to do, facing the number 1 defense in Section 4, and they've put up 4 goals on them. 2 times in the first 17 games, 2 times in the first 18 games, Mahtomedi allowed more than 2 goals. And now they've got 4 up against him with still 12:38 to go. Simley, then Stillwater. Then they'll travel to Orono. This is all next Thursday. Next Thursday they'll be at Orono. The only game left this week comes up tomorrow here at home against Simley. They'll be back home again late next week against Hermantown. And they will send Poyer into net now. Poyer, excuse me. So Dardis, a disappointing day for him. They go right to attack on Poyer, and he's got to get the pad out with the right and save it with the glove on the left. Poyer is 5-1 this season. Just a 1.6 goals against average, 91% on the save percentage. Loose puck in front. Heffron looking for the hat trick, and he shovels it backhanded on Poyer. Makes the save, settles it on the rebound. 12:24 remaining. Poyer hadn't played since the 3rd of January. Coming in, stopped his last 8 shots that he had seen in some limited time. Excuse me, he was 8 of 8 that day, stopping shots. He'd stopped 26 of the last 27 coming into this, and already he's been right on the button. He's making 3 saves already in short order. Draw controlled in behind their own net by Mahtomedi. Plenty of those yellow jerseys swooping around the puck for Totino-Grace. They can just smell this big-time Section 4 victory. Howe is stopped 28 of 29. Zephyrs putting some pressure on. It's knocked down by the pads of Howe and cleared back out towards the blue line. Just over skated by Heffron, or he'd have been off to the races. Tap back at the blue line. A spin and a loose puck. Left alone right there for Bonfi. Comes flying up with Palmer on his left to Palmer, and he can't shovel that one home. It's sticked away by Poyer to keep us right here at 4-1. Good break for Bonfi and Palmer. Palmer hunting his 17th goal of the season. As this one flies down on the far side, Mahtomedi needing to go to work quickly to get back in this game with 11.5 minutes to go. Peeled out of the corner. From up against the boards, wraps around the Totino-Grace net. Under control of Stika. Flies it at the blue line across to Delzer. Delzer, bouncing puck, sails ahead. Sorry, Delzer on that second line. As I was talking about the scores, it's been Palmer, who's the other wing, the top scorer on this team, who's got goals in 4 of the last 5. Heffron now with multiple points in 4 of the last 6. His 2 goals and 3 assists give him 10 points in the last 6 games. The Eagles not only in section play, but a win like this on the road, breaking up a 2-game losing skid against Mahtomedi the past 2 years. That could really springboard them down the stretch of the season. Take on Osseo, Spring Lake Park, Irondale, St. Anthony. Some very winnable games before they head to some tough road games against Blaine. It's a 500 team, but seems to be getting better. Andover after that on the road. Drop this one again inside of 11 minutes to go here in the third. 4-1 on a pair of goals in this third period from Kyle Heffron. He's now within 2 of the goals lead on this team, held by Ben Palmer. Puck dangerous for a redirect on that far side of the net, but it was never touched by Mahtomedi's stick. Now it's in front again, saved away by Howe. Howe getting across to get a piece of it. Still not cleared. Now Totino-Grace able to fly it out. Bounce down towards the blue line, fight for the puck. Jack Gray trying to wall off Paradise. Paradise turns the corner outside the circle, fires the shot, glove save, gathered into the pads by Howe. Face-off coming, everybody changing with 10.5 to go here in this third period. Shots on goal, a 7 shots on goal advantage for Mahtomedi. But they're down 3. They've changed their tender. As Dardis is out and Poyer is in on the opposite side of the ice. trying to keep it at a 3-goal game. Mahtomedi averages 5 per contest. They've got to turn on the offense now. That one bouncing in front. Howe made the initial save. Still reaching for the puck outside of the crease. And finally the whistle blows. And now we'll get some extra blows. And guys held on to there. Trying to keep Howe clean out in front as he was diving. It was Heffron who was in the middle of it. Howe asking for an explanation from the official as to maybe why he was on an island for so long after he made 1 and 2 saves. Bonvie kicked out of the faceoff. Brings Palmer back in. Lallier able to dump it right back. Long shot for Paradise. Can't get it to go. Short angle follow into the side of the net. And it was tied up just long enough by Howe. Pilarski kept hacking at it. 10:01 remaining here in this third period. A goal in the second for Joe Paradise. That's the only tally up on the board for the Zephyrs right now. Off the win of the faceoff, Palmer puts it into the skate of a defender. Deflected back into the Totino-Grace zone. Mahtomedi pushing after the puck aggressively, trying to cut into this lead in any way possible. Inside of 10 to play. Whole lot of work to do and not a lot of time to do it. Puck sweeping around off the near side boards. Poked back to the middle, and it's Palmer who can come away with it. Palmer working it up ahead to Golden. Mauls a Zephyr off the puck. That one flies dangerously back in front of the net, but right there was Broughton. Stops it from getting in on Poirier. Cleared back up the ice. Here comes Pilarski. Pilarski back to the middle for Lallier. Shot went wide. Back out in front. Swept away by the Zephyrs. They'll settle again in front. Take the wild, wide shot from outside the circle, and it bangs back down the ice. Mahtomedi trying to get sticks on pucks there in front. Sent it backwards instead. Still nearly had a chance. Couldn't fire it home. And an arm's going to come up, and we'll get a penalty on, I believe, on Totino-Grace here. They do touch it up. No, it's going to be a Zephyrs penalty. So they'll get Michael Miller for the cross-check. So another penalty opportunity for Totino-Grace. Miraculous comeback here. First loss to a Class A school this year. They'd gone 13-0. Check that, not all against Class A teams, but all of their wins. No losses, no ties against any Class A schools. A loss and a tie to Hill Murray and a loss to St. Thomas Academy. Will it be the Eagles that finish off this victory and hand them their first Class A loss of the year? Puck starts to work its way around the boards. On the near side, held in right there in tight quarters by Stika. Looking to reverse, instead dumps it down behind the net, working with Thielen. Thielen in the corner. Walled off the puck, but just able to shove it out. Got it to Adam Johnson. There along the boards, a fight to keep it in, and it is kept in by Howie Moore. Moore got it back out in front. It bounces to Delzer, and he's got his second of the game. Top shelf to beat Poirier. Zephyrs just couldn't clear it. A beautiful hold by the freshman Howie Moore, and the puck deflects its way right back out near side to Luke Delzer, and he buries the puck top shelf. It's 5-1. Under 8 minutes to go. And the fourth goal of the night started a trickle out to the parking lot here on this cold night in Stillwater. Now the fifth goal gets more and more people leaving their posts as the Zephyrs seeing this one slip away. Howie Moore got one of the assists, as well he should have. That was very nearly a clear on the power play. And instead it turns into Delzer's second of the night, a 5-1 lead. Your game winner still sits on the ledger of Jack Bonfie. The rest has been icing on the cake. Puck picked by Meehan. And outside of a stretch really in that first period where the Zephyrs really built their shots on goal lead that they've maintained for this game, it's been either even or Totino-Grace able to dominate possession, using quick goals in the second and the third to build 2-goal leads at 2-0 and 3-1. And now 2 more unanswered here just past the midway points of the third. Still being outshot by 9, but really the only thing to watch on that is John Howe's save percentage. So he stopped 35 of 36 in an at times steady barrage from Mahtomedi. The Zephyrs have to find the kitchen sink here in Stillwater and try and throw everything they can out there to at least pop 1 goal. Start thinking about stringing them together, but that 5th goal to make it a 4-goal game with now less than 6 minutes to go. A backbreaker, and offsides they go. Back out to neutral ice it comes. The great news for the Cup. They're only lost to a non-Minnesota school, losing to Milwaukee University High School. And they'll break up a 2-season losing skid against Mahtomedi. Last time they beat him, it was a tight 6-5 game in the 2016 section semis. This one not shaping up to be anything of the like. The last 3 scored unanswered by Totino-Grace. They'll keep it out of their zone again. Just knocked back in by the Zephyrs. Long shot, save, rebound was dangerous out in front. Howe couldn't cover it up, but it just trickled out past the Mahtomedi sticks. And that allowed the Eagles to clear it up the ice. Right back in for McCarver. Skating a long time with the puck, looking for some help. At the blue line, shovels it across to Newbeck. He'll fire a bouncing puck through the slot, tracked down by the Eagles. Knocked off the boards, Newbeck down to a knee, tried to hold that in. Instead now just trying to enter it back in. Puck sent in towards Howie Moore. Moore made that great play before goal number 5 to keep the pressure on the power play. So we go under 5 minutes to play. Totino-Grace just that away from matching the 13 wins for the Zephyrs. Puck is dangerously just sitting on the far side of the crease, and Howe gets back to the near side post and covers it up with the left elbow. And we told you about the trend for the Eagles. After their first 2 victories came in overtime, 8 of the next 10. And now make it 9 of the last 11 victories they've had, as unless this one gets much tighter here, they're all going to be by 3 or more goals. Still 4.5 to play. But at that point, really would seem only the margin in doubt right now for the Eagles. Giving up 37 shots, but John Howe has stopped 36 of them. Delzer outside the circle with the first and the last for the Eagles. Left the puck back in behind the net. Thielen couldn't get to it in time. Fired back through neutral ice for Dulac. Dulac outside the circle, tries to center. That one deflected wide to the far side. Held in by the Zephyrs. Dropped back down to Dulac. He shovels the puck back out in front once and twice on the feed for Paradise, and Tom Paradise can't knock it home. Another big save for Howe to keep us right where we are. Trying to suck it into Paradise in the middle. He'll slip the puck out past the circle. Left it on the dot, cleared out by Meehan. Meehan got it up the ice, now under the control of Delzer again. Knifes his way through 2 defenders, has a man behind, but walled off the puck by Skillings. Skillings will turn the corner, work to fly up the ice with 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Everybody stays on side as Skillings dumps it back behind. Lallier got it back out in front. High in the slot, and that puck got up high on an Eagle who was bending down. Might have caught him in the ear hole there on Ben Palmer. His shot. And good to see Stika up and at him. Assuming that shot from Pilarski. Stika was just kind of ducking down to the elbow, and the shoulder started to bend over at the waist there, and so that one caught him in the ear. Works for a blocked shot instead. Three minutes to go in this one. It's been all Eagles here in the third period. And they possess off the draw. Twice in the last 5 games, they've scored as many as 7 goals. Only one time have they been held under 3, and that was in their lone loss in those last 5 games. 4-1 to Champlin Park in their last time out on the ice. 2.5 to play. Zephyrs trying to get one on the board just to feel better about things as they head into that meeting tomorrow night with Simley. They stayed on side. Wind in. Pilarski just dangled it too far. Might have had some open net on that far side. Sent it wide of the post. 2:10 remaining. Pushed quickly up the ice. That shot sailing up into the glass. That's Patrick Finley. Up from the JV squad for tonight's contest. 2:07 to go. Face off to the glove side of Poirier. Dardis, the 9th grader who's been so good this year. Pulled midway through this third. At the time, a 3-1 game. Check that at the time, a 4-1 game. That puck flying up into the stands. Probably got a pretty good view of that one coming right towards us. Come back to the other end with 1:50 to go. Don't forget all kinds of hockey action at several different levels coming up the rest of the week, including weekend youth action, high school action the rest of the week. Check out the schedules. If you're watching us on Youth Hockey Hub, you know where to be, youthhockeyhub.com. Youth Hockey Hub on all your social media channels as well for the latest where the cameras will be to bring you some of the best high school and youth hockey action around the state. Eagles just in coasting mode now, up 5-1, never tested past the midway point of this third. They were able to build their lead. Another centering pass, keeping Howe on his toes. That one somehow didn't hit the rafters and drops down in the scorer's booth. The 1:01 remaining. So the Zephyrs are going to drop to 4-1 in Section 4 play. While the Eagles will stay unbeaten, though this is just their second section game. So we duck under a minute to go. The 2-goal scorer, Heffron, taking it out of the zone, bouncing the puck up ahead. That'll be covered up there by Poirier. 48 seconds to go. John Howe looking like for the 12th time in this here his 18th game will hold an opponent under 3 goals. And it'll be just 10 goals allowed in the last 6 games. That one caught up at neutral ice. Let's get the face off again with 40 seconds remaining. Eagles don't have to worry about pressing too much. Bonfi, again, his second goal of the night, or his goal, which was the second of the night for the Eagles. Standing as your game winner. Nifty little toe feed to himself. Stika fires it across. Poirier makes the pad save. Bounces back out. Serve to the middle for Bonfi. Final 5 seconds. And this one's going to end up at a 5-1 final here in Stillwater. Totino-Grace scores 3 unanswered. They took a 2-0 lead. It was 2-1 and never any closer than that. After they got a quick goal to start the third, they score 3 times in the period and will win it 5-1. Eagles are now 13-5 overall and 2-0 in Section 4. The Zephyrs fall to 13-3-1. They are now 4-1 in Section 4 play. Could be a big one for the number 5 Eagles. That gives them the inside track on the number 1 seed in the section. Again, goals from Delzer twice, Heffron twice, and Bonfi once. Joe Paradise on the other side for the Zephyrs. For Justin Moss on camera, I'm J.W. Cox. Thanks so much for watching. You can join us all week long right here. All the best in hockey coverage on youthhockeyhub.com. Good night, everybody.